Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome back to the home of Formula 1 here at Silverstone. Into round 5 of 8 as we're closing in down on the final few tracks of the season, and we still have no idea as of yet who will be crowned champion. Today we embark on the full British Grand Prix after yesterday's mad dash sprint race. The sun is out, but there's lots of clouds and potentially rain imminent, so strategy today will be crucial for the drivers. Taking a look at this infamous track then, where F1 started all the way back in May 1950. 2 DRS zones, 1 through the Wellington Straight and also the Hangar Straight. 18 turns, 8 to the left, 10 to the right, covering a total track distance of 3.66 miles. Tyre compounds for this weekend, if we don't get to see any rain, will be on the harder side of the C3 soft, C2 medium and C1 hard. But we will definitely be seeing hard tyres out on track today. Onto the starting grid for this year's British Grand Prix. Andre Abreu sits his Alpine on pole over an exceptional performance yesterday alongside the McLaren of Torben, who also had a great race. Joel Vauxhall making absolute gains up into P3 with his Ferrari and Josh O'Mara in his Red Bull alongside. Row 3 now, and with the Ferrari of Callum sitting behind his teammate and Taylor with an exceptional result into P6. Behind Callum sits the McLaren of Jay Robinson alongside the Haas of Matthew Widdowson. And both Mercedes now lock out the 5th row of the grid of both Dylan Hartley and Archie Middlefelt, looking to make up some more places in this Grand Prix. We see our first appearance also of an Alfa Romeo of Gomez sitting in P11 alongside Max Chapman, who is unable to make it tonight. Lucas Silva in P13 had an unfortunate spin under the safety car yesterday alongside Zach Plant in P14. The other Williams, Adam Forbes, sits in P15 beside James Wilson in P16. Ryan Harper P17 alongside the Alpha Tower of Alex Peake, who unfortunately lost control of the car in the sprint race yesterday. And finishing up the last row of the grid, we have Smits in P19 alongside a reserve driver today in the other Alfa Romeo of Casper, who's looking to make his debut into F1. And that concludes the grid for this year's 2022 British Grand Prix. Hello. Sorry, I was almost ready, but I wasn't quite ready. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? I'm joined here with Jamie. Jamie, a very good to see you. How are you doing?
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to round number 5 of the Kenco F1 Formula 1 World Championship here in a very cloudy Silverstone for the British Grand Prix.
Absolutely, yeah. It's very foggy. It's very misty. It's not looking great, but it's real weather conditions today. And yeah, guys in chat, if we can just get a quick AV check, that will be fantastic. Hopefully, you can hear Jamie okay. Hopefully you can hear me okay. And I believe we actually have race control. Why am I live on Steam? Hang on a minute. That shouldn't be right. There we go. No, it's okay. I don't think I'm live through Steam. I'm not. There's a little live watermark in the top right, but never mind. It's all good. It's fine, says QWERTY. Good. I'm glad. But yeah, we can see, obviously, we do have 19 drivers this evening. Hopefully everybody's names looks to be good on the left-hand side there as well. We have an additional Alfa Romeo driver tonight of Casper down there in P19. The only driver we did not seeing tonight is Max Chapman in the other Red Bull, but other than that, it's a full grid for Silverstone, which is very, very exciting. Hayden, hello. Lewis, thank you for that resub as well. And yeah, 26 laps of Silverstone, and I'm already glitching here, but hopefully there's not much desync. But yeah, Andre Abreu starts alongside Charlie, and we'll see what they can do. Let me quickly add some sound into the game, and hopefully that should be good. There we go. Perfect. We can hear the cars now. That's better. I'm still up in space. I think we're all in space. There we go. But yeah, obviously the drivers in formation lap at the moment. We're looking. I mean, what's your predictions, Jamie? Who do you reckon's going to win? If you could pick one person. I know it's putting a lot of pressure on your shoulders here, but
it's going to be tight. But looking at who's going to get off the line first, and who's going to be in P1 in the position at the first corner, looking at both of the Alpines going on mediums compared to all the others going on soft.
Oh, yeah, true.
I think Charlie or either Joel might be in the lead at the start, but yeah.
We'll open it up to chat as well. If any of you guys want to put your money on somebody, you're more than welcome to. We're seeing all the drivers form here as the British Grand Prix is about to get underway for the first time this year. I believe the drivers at the back are just getting ready, and we'll see how this start pans out. Obviously, turn one's going to be an absolute nightmare here for the drivers, but hopefully they don't break. But hopefully they don't break. We'll see. Anyway, the lights are turning on here. And it's lights out and away we go. Archie's got an immediate drive-through penalty there for jump-starting the lights. Unfortunate there for Archie, but that looks to be fairly clean going into turn 1 here. Charlie has gone out in front of Andre Abreu. Joel Foxall down into P3. Josh making absolute gains there on Joel Foxall as it's coming down the track. It doesn't look like anyone's collision. There's a Haas there gone really wide, but it looks to be clean. Loads and loads and loads of position changes. Callum McGrath up a few positions there, up to P5. Wilson losing a few places. But yeah, unfortunate there for Archie with that drive-through penalty immediately.
Yeah, it looks like the predicted pit stop strategy for this race is going to be a one-stop, either a soft to a hard or a medium to a hard. So
yeah, I mean, again, no idea on the strategy, but to be honest, Andre Abreu, he suffered hugely. He started in P1, he's already down to P4, just in between the two Ferraris there. Not a great starter there for Andre at all. The names all begin with A. But yeah, that's not great there for the Alpine driver, but Charlie will be very happy with that. He just needs to keep that gain. And Josh O'Mara as well, up to P2. Incredible stuff there by Josh, but hopefully he can keep that as well.
yeah, it looks like Josh has made a good start from his P4 in the start, but you never know. It always looks like Joel has got the outside and now he's down into P3.
Yeah, we're just having a little look here with Josh and Joel. Let me try and get rid of the name tags there. And they're fighting here down the Hamilton straight. I don't know. Obviously, there's no DRS yet, but Josh might be able to get some gaining advantage here on Joel Foxall into the next few turns. As we can see there, all the soft tyre compounds apart from the two Alpines there on the medium tyres. That's potentially why Andre had a slower start, I'll be honest. I obviously forgot his tyre compound. He was on the medium, so he's going for a long stint here, hoping that there is no safety car. But yeah, we'll have a little look and see, as it looks like Andre Abreu has just lost another position here, potentially to Callum, and it might even be the Haas of Wilson here as they are side by side, as the Haas just creeps in behind him. But yeah, interesting start, to be honest. Lots and lots of happening. It looks like we've got Jay Robinson, unfortunately, down in there into P19. And it looks like we've got Casper all the way from P19 up to P11. So, great debut drive there by Casper. Hopefully he can keep this up.
Yeah, fantastic start for the debut driver. And it looks like there might be a little incident. Yeah, it looks like
Go ahead.
Mitz has spun with Gomez as well. Not good for both of them drivers as well.
No, it doesn't look like Gomez has got his name done either properly on the leaderboard, unfortunately. I'm not sure if that was my mistake or not, but I have added his number. But yeah, that's unfortunate for the other Alfa Romeo driver there, obviously down at the back of the grid. I'm not too sure what happened with Jay Robinson. We'll have to follow up with him after the race to see what happened there, because he did have a really good start.
Yeah, I think Jay's got some front wing damage, so he's going to be boxing for a new set and possibly a new strategy. But it looks like Gomez has gone off the road at the Maggots and Beckett complex as well, so not a good opening lap for him as well, as DRS is now enabled.
Yeah, we're just going to go on board here with Jay Robinson. He is without a front wing at the moment. The fastest lap goes to Joel Foxall at the moment, but that's easily going to be overtaken as we're seeing Jay Robinson here find his way into the pits just behind the Smiths, and it looks like there may be a free collision here. All three drivers have really early pit stops. They've definitely got damage, unfortunately. But yeah, obviously Taylor Hume started in P6 down into P8, but Adam Forbes made a few positions for the Williams. They keep switching as well. But yeah, really good to see there. Charlie P1 followed by Joel and then Josh, who's switching a few positions here. Yeah, quite a slow pit stop here, but it does take time to put a front wing on. Jay has gone for the medium tyre compounds. He's definitely going to have to pit again. Unless he can get those mediums 23 laps, I'm not too sure. Anything's possible, really, with Formula 1. But yeah, 8.3 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think, personally, with him putting on the mediums, I don't think they are going to last, personally. But you never know, they might.
Yeah.
If he's the tyre whisperer, they might last him for another 23 laps, but it's highly likely he's going to be going for another pit stop.
Exactly, and we're just seeing here the swaps of the Red Bull and the Ferrari of Callum and Josh here. They're fighting it out. This is a podium place here very early on. I know it's obviously early on in the stage of the Grand Prix, but these are two drivers who they've clashed in the past, but they're both great racing drivers, and hopefully they'll give us a show today, which so far they certainly are, as Callum takes the inside lane. Josh goes on the wide, but he could potentially get the switch back. We'll have to wait and see what he can do here.
Yeah, all the time that both those two drivers are fighting, Andre is gaining. So
Yes.
Josh will be having to look into his mirrors in a couple of corners time as Josh has got the inside
Gosh,
line.
it's almost free wide around here. Oh, this is very close. We do see Archie there leave the session. Not sure if he has a few connections. Josh just unfortunately lost out on the position here, and Andre's just came in out. He just came through the pack here, taking those two positions. Josh is going to have absolutely none of that here. It's about 3 wide through cops. We don't want to repeat what happened in the real life Formula 1, but there's so many drivers here, really close, competing to each other. No one knows who's going to be in what position, but this is very, very close racing here.
A yellow flag out of cops as Gomez has sadly retired from the race. So
he might
not
have.
a good start to the British Grand Prix for the Alfa Romeo driver.
No, that is the first retiree here. It looks like Archie as well has obviously done his drive-through for that quick start. But yeah, unfortunately there for Gomez, he hasn't had the best start here as we see Josh. You know, he's battling for that 5th place here. And obviously Callum is sort of gaining a lot more time in front, almost a second in front of Josh now, as he's obviously chasing down Andre. But the two front runners, Joel Foxall and Charlie, they are currently side by side, almost anyway. And Joel Foxall is currently leading the Silverstone Grand Prix, so there must have been a switch between these two drivers just a moment ago. But yeah, it's a shame to see one McLaren doing so well and the other McLaren all the way at the bottom of the leaderboard. But, you know, Jay Robinson here, he's hoping for a safety car. He wants the pack to be, you know, bunched back up again if he can, just to get everybody back together again. But yeah, I mean, so far the pack is splitting up really nicely. We've got a nice sort of mid section of all the battling here, as there's a Haas driver there on the inside of Josh O'Mara. They're still battling, and Josh, unfortunately, does look like he's losing that position, but he's definitely not giving it up this easily. This is what I do love about the Kenco Formula 1 League. Like, you know, all of these drivers, they know how to race. You know, we obviously get the 1 or 2 incidents, but, you know, they're looked at after the race. But, you know, a majority, 99% of the time, we do get good racing over here. And it looks like there's both DRSs there, unfortunately on the Haas, out-dragged by the Red Bull and the Mercedes. Dylan having to go very, very wide, almost on the offside on the grass there, as he's on the side-by-side here with the Haas. Down through the last few corners and onto the Hamilton straight, and it looks like Dylan Hartley comes out ahead there, but I don't think he'll have the DRS around the next few corners.
Yeah, it looks like there's a small battle for the lead at the moment, but possibly Charlie might have the DRS on Joel coming into Woodcote. Well, actually, is it Woodcote? I have no idea.
It's something, but yeah, we'll have a little look. It's exactly. We need to get the track back up. We need to learn all these corners. But yeah, we'll ride on board with Charlie here. Obviously, he's trying to gain as much time as he possibly can. He's still within a second of Joel Foxall, as Archie sets the fast lap of 112. That's not right. Did you see that? A 112 around Silverstone. I don't think that's I don't think that's unfortunately. And there's Adam Forbes as well. He has unfortunately retired from the session. It will be interesting to know what he's done here. Sorry about the HUD there. But yeah, Adam Forbes is the second retirement. That has put in a virtual safety car for the drivers. So all the drivers have to slow down to 40% pace. Now, could this trigger some pit stops, Jamie? Do you reckon?
Possibly for the people running on the soft compound tyre, as you do gain a lot.
Yes.
As
but
Joel and Charlie are both going into pits now.
There we go.
They're going to be slapping on some...
They're going to want this virtual safety car to remain for as long as possible. It looks like, yeah, we've got Josh O'Mara back in the pits as well. Andre has stayed out along with Callum by the looks of things. So split strategy there for the Ferraris. But yeah, quite a few drivers diving in the pits there. And the virtual safety car has ended now. So... yeah, it's a bit of, it's an interesting one, but obviously we do now see Andre Abreu back in the lead of this Grand Prix, with Callum in P2, Dylan Hartley in P3. He started in P10, but obviously we do see loads of drivers here diving into the pits and getting those really quick pit stop times. Most of the drivers changing onto the medium tyre compound. No one's brave enough for those hard tyres till the end by the looks of it, so we might see the drivers back in if they can't make it another 20 laps with those tyres.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what fuel Archie's got in his car, but I've no idea how he's done a 112.3 around Silverstone.
Yeah,
But
I might try and remove that graphic if it's going to keep popping up. We had this similar issue only last week, I believe. But yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on there. It might just be a glitch on the game. But yeah, currently as it stands, Andre Breu, Callum, Hartley, Taylor, Widdowson, and then Silver. However, I don't believe any of those are pitted. It's good to see Alex Peak as well up into P7 after last week's... Yeah? No, I'm good. Thank you. After last week's... no, sorry, yesterday's crash in his sprint race. So yeah, we got Joel Foxall down into P8. He's obviously on fresh medium tyres here. And it looks like Charlie is 2 seconds behind Joel. So that pit stop didn't really pay off too well for Charlie here. As he's obviously got a little bit more time to gain on Joel Foxall before he can obviously open that DRS and try and get in front of the lead of the Grand Prix. But again, you know, all of these drivers right now who have pitted, they do not want a safety car right now because it will cause lots and lots of issues. We are seeing Callum McGrath here take the lead of the Grand Prix in front of Andre Abreu here. But whether or not he can keep it, I'm not too sure. Dylan Hartley is also eyeing up a move. Also gaining loads of time on these two drivers, obviously, as they're battling. They're losing time. But it is good to see Andre Abreu still fighting out on those medium tyres that he started the race on, as well as Callum. Obviously, Callum's soft tyres, they're going to be degrading a lot faster than Andre's mediums here. And I think this is showing here through Maggots and Beckett's.
yeah, it looks like that compounded tyre is starting to get a little bit worn now. But we've got a spin coming.
Oh, yes. What's that? Oh, no.
And we got another... Yeah, we got Jay spinning at the end of the start-finish straight, so...
Jay is not going to be happy with today's race, considering Jay Robinson's normally really good round Silverstone. He absolutely loves this track, and yeah, he's not had a great race today, unfortunately. But yeah, he can still get points today potentially. What I'm going to do real quick actually is remove that fastest lap timer. I do apologize about this 1 second because it is rather annoying. And hopefully, if we stop the edit there, that should go and disappear. It will still say fastest lap on the left, but it's not the end of the world. So fastest lap, I guess, will be determined by the end of the Grand Prix. But yeah, there we go. So Callum McGrath is currently leading the Grand Prix. Very, very, very closely followed by and hunted down by Andre Abreu. These two are fighting out here for pole position at the moment. We're lap 9 in, and there's still... quick math. Hang on, 17 laps left. There we go. 17 laps left of this Grand Prix.
Attentional teams, this is race control. The fastest lap at the moment is a 1:29.6. The current fastest lap is not valid.
There we go. That was a little message there from the FIA. That is so cool. Just to say that the fastest lap is not the 1:12 that Archie somehow managed to set. That it was obviously a 1:20 something, I've heard. But yeah, there we go. We're seeing Andre Abreu make a move on the outside here of Callum. Callum's going to keep that inside as much as he possibly can around here. As all this time, Dylan Hartley is gaining time on these two drivers. But we can still see Joel Foxall there, making up 2 seconds there on Alex Peak. We'll go and have a look at Joel on the overtake of Alex Peak very shortly. But yeah, the drivers are sort of split up quite neatly here. We'll go and have a little look at Taylor Hume here. Currently P5. He is sort of gaining some time here on Widdowson in front of him in the Haas. They are still both on their old soft tyres here. So, you know, 10 laps around Silverstone. These soft tyres, they're not going to go much longer, I'll be honest. These drivers are going to have to pit very, very soon.
Yeah, it looks like they're probably going to be pitting in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, Alex Peak has made the move first out of all the drivers here. Meaning Joel Foxall will not have to make the move on Alex Peak. So, you know, Alex just done Joel a favour there. But obviously, there we go. We see Alex Peak going into the pits here. He does need a new front wing, so that's going to set him back a few seconds in the pit stop, unfortunately. But, you know, you would rather have quicker lap times than obviously be impeded with a broken front wing. Casper, yes. So I believe Adam Forbes spun and Gomez done the same thing. Am I right in saying that, Jamie?
Yeah, both of them spun and unfortunately hit the barrier.
Yes, very unfortunate. It caused a virtual safety car, but that was it for the obviously, you know, the race control decisions. But we're currently seeing Andre Abreu leading the Grand Prix. But the top, I believe, top 6 drivers here have not pitted yet. So that's both the Alpines, Mercedes, Ferrari, Haas, and a Williams driver all not pitting. And we might see one of those pitting soon, as we're seeing the Haas and the Williams here having a little fighting battle. Taylor really badly wants that P4 before he goes in the pits, but I'm not sure if he can get it beforehand.
Yeah, maybe we might have the chance going into the next long straight or whatever.
The Wellington Straight, I believe it is.
Yeah, that's straight.
Yes, and there is DRS here that Taylor can open. If he does, obviously he's gone through the detection zone now, so he'll definitely have DRS here, and we might even see a move here from Taylor on the Haas. But yeah, Widdowson's not going to make this easy for him.
He's definitely not, as he goes for the outside line.
It's the wrong line to take round there. It's the wrong line to take, unfortunately. Obviously, Widdowson knows what he was doing. He was on the inside there, on the correct side, so he gets the better exit, and obviously that's him defending that position there, keeping in P4. And we're also going to have a look a little bit at the start of the Grand Prix here. We're seeing Callum McGrath and Andre still fighting out here. These tyres are just shredding, especially for Callum. But yeah, Andre's doing very well to defend. But Callum's obviously on the softer tyre compounds, but you know, they must be at least on sort of 40-50% by now, surely.
As he's got the DRS, he's now going for the inside line, and it looks like, yeah, he has secured that position now into P1. But is he going to box this lap?
No. He's going to try and get as much time in front of Andre, I think, than he can. But Dylan's had enough of those two drivers. He's diving in the pits here. I don't blame him. It'll be interesting to see what tyres he does put on. But 15 laps to go. Currently, Callum McGrath is in P1. But as it stands, obviously, with pit stops, it's still Joe Foxall, followed by Charlie. There's a 3-second gap, and then Josh O'Mara as well, 5 seconds behind Charlie. So quite split as at the middle of the pack. I'm looking a little bit further down. Obviously, I haven't really spoke too much about the drivers. Obviously, a little bit further back. Zach Plant in P13. Alex Peak down to P14 after that pit stop with the front wing change. And then Ryan Harper still in the Grand Prix, which is awesome. They're on the only driver to set the hard tyres. Again, Ryan's done, you know, he's brave enough to go on the hard tyres, meaning he won't have to pit again. But obviously they are going to slow him down on the lap times, as Dylan Hartley there goes just in front of Wilson on that pit exit. Very nice, very nicely done by him. Yeah, we're still seeing here. It looks like Silver is now up to P3. Obviously, that Alpine, both Alpines here, P2 and P3, both on the only drivers to start the Grand Prix on the mediums, and they're still holding out very, very nicely. But the Haas is, they're chasing him down here, and we'll see if anything can be done. But yeah, Callum currently in the lead by 3 tenths by the looks of it, in front of Andre Abreu, as Silver is very, very closely followed by a Haas here, as all this time Joe Foxall is gaining time on these drivers. So yeah,
it looks like
it's free wide.
Silver is...
Oh no, is that Charlie? Hang on a minute, has Charlie got a front wing? Oh, he does. Hang on, was that Jay Fox? Or maybe it's Jay Fox or blue flagged, I believe.
It might be,
Jay's diving in the pits. That's Jay Fox.
Yeah,
that's Jay Robinson.
He's got a front wing issue
Not again.
as well.
Not again, Jay. The McLaren garage is not going to have that many front wings for you to change over. It looks like Widdowson's dived in the pits there. Joel Foxall moving up to P4. And in my opinion, Joel Foxall's currently in the lead because there's 9 seconds in front of him. And it takes a lot longer than those drivers to pit for 9 seconds, unless there is something that happens very soon.
Yeah, I think it's around about like 20 seconds they lose in the pits under normal racing conditions. So yeah, he's going to be roughly... It's going to be close, but he's going to be in the lead at this moment in time.
Yes, exactly, and that'll be a comfortable lead there as well for Joel Foxall. Obviously, these are valuable points he needs in the Drivers' Championship alongside Max Chapman, who will he got, I believe, some sprint race points yesterday. But obviously, yeah, Joel Foxall's going to want as many points as he can. Jay, we're not racing. No, we're just commentating the race. All of these 19 drivers here know, obviously, myself, and you know, they've got a very big interest in Formula One. And yeah, we've all been speaking with the drivers. There's a nice Discord setup. We've got TeamSpeak. We've got it all under control. But yeah, we're just commentating the race as it goes on. 50% around all the tracks, 8 rounds. And we're currently on round 5 of 8. And it looks like the drivers are They're good racers, to be fair, all of them. All of them are absolutely fantastic.
It looks like maybe Jay has spun
Oh,
again.
no, he's 58 seconds behind Pete. Oh, my God.
Oh.
Jay Robinson. I mean, I'm almost going to go over to him here. And, yeah, you can see the dirt coming off his tyres on the track here. But, yeah, absolutely disappointment here for Jay Robinson. To be honest,
he might be going in the pits again as one of the front wing plates has come off.
oh
So
no, Jay, that's another front wing plate. Jay
coming into the pits.
Is that a retirement or it's a yellow flag sector 2? He's not having a good time, is he?
Looks like he's doing some rallying as well today.
I mean, you can't take with a bad front wing. It's very difficult to drive a Formula 1 car. But yeah, Jay's gonna go back in the pits for another front wing change by the looks of it. Unless, of course, that damage there on the left side of his front wing isn't that bad. But he's tiptoeing around this track at the minute, so he's definitely going in the pits or not.
Or not? Is he going to?
I mean, respect.
Yeah.
Fair enough. He's not going in the pits. I don't blame him. We're seeing a bit of switch of change in position here. Callum McGrath and Andre still fighting for the lead. Callum's soft tyres 14 laps in. He's treating these very well. He's obviously good at managing the tyres. But yeah, Andre's teammate, Silva, in the Alpine, 11 seconds behind him. So a huge gap between P1 and P2. And there is Jay's retirement in the pits by the looks of it. So also, is that a very slow... Oh, no, that might be Jay's retirement there, actually, which is impeding on the front 2 drivers. But Jay not under the control of that, so that'll be the AI there. But yeah, it does look to be that Jay Robinson retired there. Maybe the mechanics called it that, look, the car's not doing that well today, so we'll just, we'll put it in and give it some repairs before anything else. Which, yeah, I don't blame him, but unfortunate there for Jay Robinson. Is F1...
looks like the only people who haven't stopped are the top 3 and Ryan Harper.
Sorry, let me have a quick... Hang on.
Yeah. Are we halfway through? We're over halfway through now, so...
Yeah, we're halfway through, so we've got... Oh, wow, Ryan Harper hasn't pitted. So, yeah, there we go.
He started on the hards, so...
Yeah. Hayden, is F1 any good on control? It certainly is. Back in the day with our first sort of leagues on Kenco F1, we did have some drivers on controller. So, yes, I can confirm that there is some drivers that have done a controller, and they've actually been faster than some people with Fanatec gear. So, it's all about skill and how you race around the Grand Prix other than sort of everything else. But, yeah, Callum is not... He doesn't want to go in the pits, Callum. He's going to get a puncher if he carries on, but hopefully not. Hopefully not.
He will have to pit at some point, or he gets disqualified. So.
Yeah, exactly. He's got 10 laps to pit, and he's going to try and find when he possibly can. But all this time, look, Joel Foxall, he's caught up with Silva right now, and, the Silva hasn't even pitted. Joel's already pitted, so he's way ahead of the game here. And there you go. Wilson's got a first 3-second time penalty. I'm not sure what that is for. It might just be track limits by the looks of it. But, yeah, controllers are very, very fast around here. And we'll have a little look. Obviously, Casper, it's his debut Grand Prix here at Silverstone today. And, P19 up to P9. I believe he's already pitted as well. So, yeah, I mean, all in all, Jamie, I don't know if you agree with this, but Casper definitely looks like he's in a good run for this Alfa Romeo seat in the future.
Looks like that. Oh, Callum and Andre are still battling.
I honestly...
It looks like Andre has got the DRS going
it's
to
a
the outside line.
It's just constantly switching now. Is this going to be the decision for Callum now? Obviously, he is behind Andre. Yeah, it is his time to come in.
He goes for it.
I don't blame him whatsoever. That's 16 laps on the soft. Very well done there by Callum. As there you go. It looks like there's a switch of his teammate and the other Alpine. But Andre, he's on those mediums. He might continue to go around. But all this time, Joel is setting faster and faster lap times than Andre. Andre's going to want to pit sooner or later. But onto the softs, I presume, for Andre.
Yeah, as Callum puts the mediums on now, and Silva's coming into the pits as well in the Alpine.
Yes, 10 laps to go. All these drivers, the drivers currently out there probably do not want to pit again. And yeah, I don't blame them whatsoever. That's the soft tyres there going on for silver, as Andre Abreu and Ryan Harper, the only 2 drivers to have yet to pit. Was that a front? No, was that a new? I don't think that was a new front wing for silver.
Well,
That's not going to be good for him. As Callum McGrath looked like he leaves the pits there, down into P8, just behind the Haas of Wilson. However, Wilson does have a 3-second time penalty, so yeah, Callum is probably going to be happy with that. Obviously, Josh O'Meara as well. We haven't really spoke too much about Josh, the only Red Bull out on track today. He is doing very well here. Started in P4, up to P5. Sorry, up to P4, down to P5. But he's defended off very nicely here. And hopefully he's in for some nice points today.
Yeah, it looks like Joel is in the window for leading this Grand Prix after Andre pits. So, if Andre is doing the strategy of going to the softs, he's going to have some trouble trying to keep that Alpine behind of him. So, is that a good strategy that Andre has done for this Grand Prix, going to medium to softs? So, as Andre is in the pits now, going for a set of compound tyres.
Yes, it will be very interesting to see where Andre comes out. That is all the drivers to have made 1 pit stop, as obviously we see the Aston Martin there of Ryan Harper doing very well to still be in this Grand Prix. It started on the hards, now he's onto the mediums. Obviously he doesn't think the softs can make it till the end, but Andre, it looks like he's going to potentially be in front of the Haas or behind. He's not going to want that...
yeah, he's going to be behind the Haas of Wilson.
But the Aston Martin doing very well there to obviously go to the side under the blue flags. Hello, Benson. And we done MS Fest this morning, guys. Yeah, we done some Microsoft Flight Sim this morning, but I'll probably be live more in the evening during the week for some more. Phoenix, no, what? 737. I'm kidding. Anyway, yes, we are obviously still, you know, there's 8 laps left to go. Not too long left, but yeah, it's really good to see here Casper up to P5. Hopefully he can keep that, and Josh O'Meara's back up to P4 there. Dylan Hartley, absolutely incredible stuff. Driver of the day at the moment for me. P10 down to P3. I'm only kidding, guys. God, you guys just jump on something I just said. I'm only joking. Like, none of us know when the 737, when the A320s come out. None of us know. I'm just, you know, I'm just winding you up a bit. We're seeing Andre Abreu here, P7, overtaking the Haas. Absolutely, nothing has been leaked. Nothing really. I can't. No, the second I say something, it'll be quoted. I'm not saying anything. I don't know anything, unfortunately. But yeah, there you go. Williams, go ahead.
Disagree with your driver of the day.
Okay. Oh, but we can Casper,
I think
actually.
it might be Casper.
Yes.
Making 14 positions and being his first race in the Kenco World Championship.
He does have Fanatec gear, I have heard, but hey, that doesn't mean a thing. This is this could be, you know, he could be a contender for Joel and Max and all the other drivers who's currently the driver championship. So Joel, if you're listening a little bit later, you better watch out, mate, because Casper's on your toes. But 100%. But yeah, Josh O'Meara here, only 2 temps behind the Mercedes of Dylan Hartley. We don't really want to be seeing another Mercedes and Red Bull into Cops this early on. But yeah, it looks like they're too far away here. I'm not too sure who's on the... I believe Dylan's on the fresher tyres, if I'm correct in saying so.
Dylan, yeah, he's got 6-lap-old mediums compared to Josh having 11-lap-old mediums. So...
yeah, that makes sense. Okay, you've got all the data. I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah,
but,
I've got all the data.
All the data. But yeah, we're seeing a really big split there. Obviously, some of these drivers are being blue flagged now. We've got Smits and Harper down in P15 and P16. Unfortunately, with the DNFs of Jay Robinson, Adam Forbes, and Gomez as well. All of the drivers to retire as it stands. But yeah, we're still seeing even more action sort of back to the pack as Callum goes wide there. As Taylor goes up into P8. Yeah, Callum's a really good driver, to be honest with you, but it's whether or not he can keep these positions as, you know, little mistakes can cost you hugely in Formula 1.
Yeah. Even the slight running off onto the grass might put some grass on your tyres, and meaning that your car will go in the complete opposite direction when you intend it to go.
Exactly that, exactly that. And yeah, that would be quite fun, Benson. That would be pretty good. But we're seeing it all this time as Josh O'Meara and Dylan Hartley are fighting. You know, Casper's came out of nowhere, and now he stands in 2 temps behind Josh O'Meara. So if I was Josh, I'll be getting worried here. There's an Alfa Romeo on his, you know, on the back of his rear wing, and yeah, every lap round, you know, DRS is opening, but we might be able to see a start of a DRS train here behind Dylan Hartley. This is the last thing Dylan wants, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, it's whether or not Dylan can keep the pace going round, or if he, you know, makes one little mistake here through Maggots and Beckett's, it could be the end. But I'm not going to speak too soon. Hopefully not. You know, I want all these drivers to do well just as much. You know, commentators need to be neutral and all of that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see as we see Josh ever so close. Sorry, wrong button. There we go. Josh very close to the rear of Dylan Hartley, and yeah, the only drivers out on the softs at the moment are Andre and Silver, both the Alpines. Max Fight, hello, welcome. Who knows, but here, mate. Of course you can chat. Of course, we welcome everybody here. But yeah, you know, 21 laps, 20 out of 26, 5 laps to go of this Silverstone British Grand Prix. It's absolutely flown by, Jamie. I'll be honest. I don't know where the last 40 minutes has gone, but here we are.
Yeah.
Oh no, a little bit of a rear spin there for Casper, but he's managed to keep it. Very well controlled there for Casper, as he potentially is getting even closer to Josh here, down the Wellington Straight, into Luffield, and so far it's still Hartley, O'Meara, and Casper. But this is gonna change over the next few laps for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely, I think, the newbie in the Kenco F1 Championship might be looking for a podium here.
I mean, nothing is impossible here on Formula 1, but yeah, there's some bravery out here with the racing today, but this is putting pressure on Josh. So much pressure, you can just tell, you know, Josh is absolutely like flying that car through Maggots and Beckett's, doing an absolutely amazing job, and Casper's just following him in his tracks. And yeah, I don't really know, quite frankly, what Dylan is sort of trying to do, whether or not he's just trying to go for the long run, you know, or if he's trying to compete. As Josh goes a little bit wide there, that's going to give Casper the opportunity to potentially go on the inside, but Casper's keeping it nice and clean there, giving Josh the room to go round. But, you know, it's whether or not how their exit is round here for the Hamilton Straight, as that leaves 5 laps left of this Grand Prix. Currently, as it stands, Joe Vauxhall P1, Charlie P2, and then Dylan Hartley P3, but all could change in a matter of seconds here on Formula 1. Literally anything can happen, but yeah, here we go. We're seeing also Andre Abreu on those soft tyres. He's creeping up. You know, all this time we've been speaking about Casper. Andre's been gaining on Casper here. Only 2 temps behind, so this is now a free DRS train behind Dylan Hartley for P3, I suppose.
Yeah, we've got 4 drivers.
Mm-hmm.
All battling for one position at this moment in time.
Yes, exactly. But I suppose, you know, it's for points as well. But out of all these drivers, I don't want to say it, but Andre's got the best tyres out of all 4 of them.
Yeah, it looks like Andre will have the grip and the speed to zoom past these cars and brake later compared to all the others.
Exactly that. ZHX, hello mate, welcome to the stream. And Casper, I love your definition. That is quite something. But yeah, we'll ride on board here with Andre, as we can see all the 3 drivers in front of him, and we'll see if Andre does indeed go for any sort of moves. He backs out of that one, but he's going to be eyeing up a move. You know, he's only got another 3.5 laps to do this. But yeah, these are the drivers who are currently close enough. Everybody with sort of a 2, 3, 4 second split towards the back of the grid, but yeah, these drivers are still battling for all these positions. And Casper, yes. I'm saying no more. Yeah, so Joel Vauxhall doing absolutely bits here. If we just go and have I would have a little look on board with Joel Vauxhall, but, you know, all this time, you know, we're seeing drivers make swap places as the Casper goes on the inside of Josh. No, I don't believe any touches there, but that's going to give Casper a nice lunge down through Copse. A nice little move there, and to be honest, great defense there by Josh as well. The Phoenix will be £50 million. That is correct. Well, we saw the 737 10 million, didn't we? So
Yeah.
nothing's impossible. I love the sounds of the cars, but there we go. DRS opened for all three of these drivers. It's not going to be good, especially for Casper. You know, Casper's going to want Josh's DRS to be closed. You can see Casper. Oh no, that's a collision there between Casper and the Red Bull. But Casper does manage to regain that as Josh takes it wide. This is a great perspective for Andre. I thank you very much for giving us the camera for this. But it looks like Casper there. I'm not sure if that collision was... I think that was a racing incident, to be honest with you, Jamie. But yeah, there's Casper up to P4. Josh Romero unfortunately losing out. But Josh, you know, he's got to keep that confidence within him. He wants to get that position back, and I don't blame him whatsoever. But yeah, there you go. Casper. Josh going in for the inside there. That's unfortunate there for Josh. He has made collision, and that is him on the grass. A little bit of a dive bomb there. Unfortunately, I think he just misjudged his braking zone. But he has lost out the position there to Andre because of that. But he could hopefully get some of that time regained as, yeah, Dylan Hartley now over a second away from Casper. Unfortunately, therefore, Josh missing out. And Andre Bray just collecting that position there. Oh, ZHX, mate, congratulations. That is really good to hear. That's what I wanted to hear. That is awesome. As Callum McGrath goes back in the pits. Oh, no.
Is it a... I think I know what he's doing.
He's going for the fastest lap, although...
He's going for the fastest lap.
Oh, no, he can still do that, actually. 13.5 second pit stop. The graphics doesn't even kind of resemble that.
Actually,
so
I
maybe
don't
that
think...
was a front wing damage?
Maybe. Or, if he is going for the fastest lap, he might not want to do that, as at the moment...
Yes, he's currently in P14.
Lap,
and he won't get the point for it.
but
he could steal
if
it.
he does get the fastest point, I think he's going to be taking it off.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, will he be taking... No, he'll be taking it off Dylan at the moment with a 129.1.
Okay.
So, that could be 1 point off of Mercedes in the championship fight if he does want to go for
Every point
fastest
counts, right? Every point counts. We're seeing
Joel
Casper... Yeah,
might
go ahead.
want to do it. Joel might want to say, I want to go for fastest lap and get an extra point for the championship. So,
Mm-hmm.
you never know.
Yeah, exactly. Callum's got the potential, you know, track evolution's going to be at its absolute peak at the moment. So yeah, Callum's got every opportunity to do that. But as it stands, you know, Casper currently up into P4. He's got, I believe, obviously newer mediums than Dylan Hartley here. But yeah, I mean, Casper going into this race, I was speaking to him just before the Grand Prix, and he was unsure as to whether or not he would be able to sort of do well in these races. He was questioning, you know, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough. And I mean, I think he's answered his own question here. I think you are good enough, Casper, as we see them very, very close here. Casper's going to have the DRS here on Dylan Hartley to get a potential podium as he's on the outside lane here. Dylan is going to be on the inside lane, but yeah, Casper is way far in advance of that position, and that's Casper moving up to P3 in the Alfa Romeo, and Dylan Hartley could potentially fight back, but there's only one lap to do it.
I would like to interject.
Go ahead.
Casper has 17 lap old mediums with Dylan 13.
Oh, wow. So Casper's on the older tyres as well.
He's on the older tyres.
Oh no, this is not good for Dylan either, because
he's got a lot of pace.
I don't want to say it, but Dylan's just lost 2 positions in a matter of corners. Andre Bray has just overtaken Dylan Hartley there on the soft tyres. But yeah, Casper's, like you say, 17 lap old mediums. Dylan Hartley only 13 lap old mediums. Wow, I mean, anything can happen here, but Andre's got one opportunity here for a podium, but I don't think he's close enough to Casper.
He's in the DRS
oh my god.
at the moment for the last DRS straight, but he will have to do it then.
He certainly
will. To overtake at that point, but at the moment, he's 7/10 behind, so...
Yes, he certainly is.
I don't know.
I'm not sure if Andre can do it, but I don't know. And as Casper said, we've got a Casper, and a Casper here today, all with different spellings. But yeah, you know, you've got to love the name sometimes. But here we are watching Joel Foxall. He has led pretty much every lap of the Grand Prix after everybody pitted. Starting in what I believe was P3 in this Grand Prix, moving up to P1. Charlie behind him in currently 3.7 seconds behind. It looks like Joel's got a very comfortable win here as he comes down the final few corners onto the Hamilton Straight to cross the line and win the Silverstone Grand Prix 2022. of round 5. Well done to Joe Foxall there. Podium P1 as Charlie Foxall. Charlie crosses the line. That is Casper sealing that podium position as well. Definitely my driver of the day. Andre Abreu P4, Dylan Hartley P5, and we're seeing Josh O'Meara there. P6, very, very well done drive there by Josh O'Meara. P7 there for Taylor, obviously after Wilson's unfortunate time penalty there. Silver, Andre's teammate, coming in P9. Widdowson P10. And then we're going to have a little look with the drivers here. Alex Peak in P11 here, coming around the final few corners. Absolutely incredible drive by all the drivers. 26 laps in. And we only had 3 retirees there. Alex Peak, unfortunate sprint race yesterday. And just missing out on the points today. And Zach Plant there in P12. Absolutely just firing up the rears there as he crosses the line. And then middle foul. Again, I'm not too sure who's got the fastest lap today. But middle foul crossing the line there. Moving up 2 positions. I'm not too sure what happened there, but maybe something wrong with the graphics. Yeah, Callum McGrath unfortunately had a good start to the race. Look how dirty that Ferrari is. And yeah, he is down into P14 with Ryan Harper there, one of the last drivers to cross the line. But yeah, GG's in chat, guys. That was a lot of fun. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And yeah, we'll definitely go and speak with some of these drivers. We'll find out what happened to some of them if they're willing to speak to us. But yeah, massive congratulations to everybody. And Casper, debut Grand Prix up to P3. There you go, as it says on the screen. Well done, mate.
Congratulations to Casper for getting driver of the day. And it's well deserved. Extremely well deserved.
Absolutely.
Being his first race in the championship and getting a podium. So congratulations to the Alfa Romeo driver. And I think he has a bright future for this league.
Absolutely, yeah. In my eyes, he's already got the Alpha seat, so don't you worry. But yeah, I mean, all credit to all the drivers. We're gonna have a few words with some of them. We'll hear their take on the Grand Prix. And yeah, I mean, well done to all the drivers. Obviously, strategy did play a big part there. I think that's one of the first Grand Prix we've had, Jamie, without a safety car. So
yeah,
I mean, well done to all the drivers for actually keeping it clean.
Yeah, and it looks like Callum did get the fastest lap of a 127.8 on the last lap.
Yeah, 127.888 there.
Point away from Dylan on the last lap.
Exactly, that's going to be it's going to be crucial there. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have a little word. I don't know if I can hire you, Jamie, to go and see who's available to speak with, if that's all right. And then I'll go and catch up with chat. And yeah, well done to everybody. And that concludes the British Grand Prix. And we're round 6 next week. I'll find out where we are for definite, but I'll go and change over to the flag and we'll find out where we are next week. Let's go and have a little look on the Discord server. Hold up. So next week we are in Austria. So that means it's the Red Bull Ring, which is a very quick, lots and lots on laps. But it should be a good one. So yeah, Austria next week. So get preparing as we speak to somebody who will be dragged up here momentarily. But yeah, it's really good to see all the drivers there. Have a lot of fun. And hopefully, obviously, you know, some drivers will be happy, some drivers will not be. But we've got Joel Foxall, the race winner here at Silverstone. Joel, congratulations, mate. P1, I bet you're very happy with that. Although, potentially a boring race? I don't know. Let me know.
Yeah, you know, 2 wins this season, both the home for Ferrari and the home for myself. So obviously I'm very proud and taking a nice lead in the championship now. So it's all to play for. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a boring race. It definitely was exciting.
Obviously
the
with
VSC
the pit
coming out.
stops, yes.
Yeah, VSC came out. So, you know, there's such a long pit stop at Silverstone. You had to just risk it and didn't exactly go the people that pit's way. Obviously, it ended pretty much as we were just entering the pit lane. So, you know, it's lucky mediums can last well. I was very comfortable from the entire race from start to finish. And, you know, I just started pulling away and I was just, yeah, I was feeling very good. And obviously, Callum doing a good job again with defending and staying out to slow down Andre a bit.
Yeah.
And that probably also helped me with the wind, put Andre in traffic. And yeah, good job again from Callum, even though he couldn't unfortunately get the points today.
Yeah, I mean, Callum's done you some absolute sort of, you know, blasts of sort of moves and things like that, especially slowing down, like you say, that the front of the grid, just so obviously you can easily gain that time through the pit stop. But yeah, very good decision. Obviously, both you and Charlie diving into the pits after that virtual safety car. And I believe Charlie lost sort of 2 seconds during the pit stop, so not too sure 100% what happened there. But yeah, well done for sort of keeping it clean, I suppose, and not making any mistakes. and just
Yeah.
leading the Grand Prix. Don't know if Jamie, you've got any questions?
No, I'm just getting in contact with Casper at the moment.
Okay, no
So
worries.
I have a different interview.
That's all right. Obviously, no worries if they can't. But yeah, on to Austria. Any sort of thoughts on Austria yet, Joel? Or sort of haven't really thought about it, I suppose?
Not been the biggest thought in my mind,
No.
nor has any of the races recently, to be
No,
honest.
no,
But
no.
I think definitely, you've just got to keep with the same strategy in my mind. Just I've changed since Baku. I've realised, I'm being a little bit too lenient, and I've just got to absolutely send it from now. And definitely think, Austria. Hopefully, me and Max can have a good fight. He's definitely very fast around Austria, so I need to work on my pace and keep consistent. And we'll see what we can do. I think from now, all I have to do is finish second, and
Yes, I believe
win the
obviously you're now
championship.
first
So
in the championship again, so
yeah,
that
if I
does
all I need to do is
make sense.
consistent P2, and I can win the championship. I think. I don't know when the next is there another sprint race? I think there is.
Yeah, Hungary,
Yeah.
is it? Or
That is going to be.
I don't know.
Is it Brazil?
Let me just check.
I don't see
I'm not-
Hungary as being
No,
very
it
full in sprint
is
race.
in the final race
Oh,
in
okay.
Sao Paulo.
There we go.
Yeah, it's definitely where it's going to be played for. But if I can finish P2 for the rest of the season, I think I can claim the championship, including sprint race. So I just need to make sure I'm not
I would
making
say
mistakes and don't get
sounds
caught up.
easy, but you've got a few exams and stuff over the next few weeks, so yeah.
Yeah,
Put
it's
those
just
definitely
a
put
few.
those first, but good luck with those as well, Joel.
Kenco F1 always comes first.
No, it doesn't. It definitely doesn't.
It does. I've got a computer science exam tomorrow, man, and I'm doing a Kenco F1 race. That shows.
Right, we'll get revising.
Yeah. Get
I
that
just
textbook out.
Exactly. I mean, he's been reading it while he's been racing around. I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Second monitors. Yeah. Thank you, Joel.
Yeah, no worries, thanks.
Any news on Casper, or should we get?
Yeah, he's up here now.
Awesome.
Was?
I'm not sure what's happened there. Hello, Casper.
Oh yeah, there it is.
I mean, starting pretty much last and getting a podium finish. We don't normally see that very often over here, and it's your debut race as well. I mean, were you just going for it the entire race, or is this just kind of your easy? I don't know. Is this just how you race? I suppose, but yeah, well done.
I definitely was going for it. At the start, everyone just flew out to the barriers, like just ahead of me, and I got into P13 and pitted early for mediums, and with 18 lap old tires, hold off Andre.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Like you say, you even overtook Dylan, who I believe was only on 13 lap old mediums. So you obviously had the pace there, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, obviously going forward, are you willing to keep the Alfa Romeo seat, and if you've got the time, obviously over weekends, on Sundays for the race as well?
Yeah, I'm definitely happy to take it.
Awesome. Okay, I'm sure that the viewers will be willing to see Casper as well in the future. 100%. And yeah, I mean. Yeah, well done, I suppose, for today, and definitely my driver of the day for making up all those positions.
Thank you.
Right, guys, I don't know if we've got anybody else. I don't know whether to call it there. But yeah, I mean, well done to everybody. I don't know if you've got anything else to say, Jamie, before we do head out of the evening.
Yeah, I've got nothing to say other than it was a fantastic day of racing.
Awesome. Yeah, okay, we're going to head out there. Thank you very much for everybody joining in. And if you are watching, you normally watch Flight Sim over here, expect to see some very, very exciting flights next week. I can't wait. Or next week after maybe. Who knows? But see you soon. Adios. And have a lovely evening, guys. Bye. See ya.